She was using my shower, standing there like she owned the place, steam curling out of my bathroom door while I stood in my own living room, not believing what I was seeing. Listen, if you told me 6 months ago this would happen to me, I would have said you were nuts. But here I am, telling you the wildest story of my life, the kind you only believe because every neighbor you've got is watching it unfold. Yeah, that happened, right here in my cabin, in the middle of nowhere, Colorado, with HOA. Karen and her business retreat crew treating my house like it was their Airbnb, and me, well, I'm just the guy who wired the whole place with his own 2 hands. Name's Jake Morrison, 34, master electrician, the kind of guy who likes solitude, pine trees, and knowing every wire in his house because he installed them himself. And let me tell you, that detail, how I set up every switch, every camera, every smart lock, that's gonna matter, just wait. So this place, my place, 3 years of sweat, savings, and weekends crawling in crawl spaces, was supposed to be my retreat, a little fortress where the world couldn't bother me, just the hum of wind through the pines and the click of relays on a security panel. But on this Friday in November, I was elbow deep in truck grease, checking fluids, tires, mind on nothing, when my flashlight hit something under the rear bumper. A professional-grade GPS tracker, big battery, industrial magnets, definitely not a prank from the local kids, and suddenly my pulse is racing, because someone's been watching, following, and I know it isn't a random creep. 2 days go by, I'm just trying to shake off the paranoia, sitting on my deck, coffee in hand, thinking maybe I imagined it, when up the mountain comes a white van and a black SUV, crunching gravel, climbing the private road that only leads to one place, mine. Through the binoculars, I see her, Sharon Lewis, the HOA's self-appointed community coordinator, walking like she's the mayor, fake smile so wide it might split her face, carrying a bottle of wine, and followed by 4 people who look as lost as a cat in a dog park. She waves the bottle. Jake. Surprise. I brought my executive retreat up to your beautiful cabin. I'll handle everything. You just relax and enjoy. Like she hadn't just trespassed with a van full of strangers, and I'm watching through security cameras, because of course I have those, while she's explaining my house is hers to tour, and I swear the audacity nearly knocks me over. There's a line people cross, and Sharon just pole vaulted it. But you don't argue with someone who lives in their own reality. You don't yell. You don't make threats. You use what you built. So I pulled up my phone, tapped into my custom security app, and started the lockdown protocol, something I made for bear break-ins or maybe a drunk friend, never thinking I'd need it for a neighbor with a business plan. First, the gate at the end of the drive slams shut, steel locking with a sound you feel in your chest. Sharon spins, grin finally slipping. What was that? She squeaks. I'm just getting started. Next, the lights, every outdoor bulb, every accent, every flood lamp, snap off. Darkness rolls in quick up here, and even the wind gets quiet. Those 4 strangers, through my thermal cams I see them, clustered together, realizing this isn't the luxury weekend they were promised, and then my voice, over the outdoor speakers. This is private property. You are trespassing. All activity is recorded for law enforcement. You have one chance to explain yourselves. Sharon's wine bottle slips, shatters, red pooling like a bad crime scene across my deck. Chaos. One woman steps forward, nerves of steel, introduces herself as Dr. Emily Torres, flashes her hospital ID. Paid $800 for this retreat, for continuing ed credits, and she wants answers now. Sharon's purse drops, contents everywhere, and I spot a stack of mail addressed to me. Only, it's been opened, sorted, used. That's when my phone buzzes. Tommy, my business partner, says, Jake, you need to hear this. Sharon's van. It's been at your place for 3 weeks straight. And she filed a change of address with the post office. She's getting mail delivered to your cabin. Bank statements, business papers, the whole 9. My knees nearly go out. This wasn't just trespassing. This was identity theft, mail fraud, Sharon living a whole second life in my house while I paid the mortgage. Next morning, I'm out on the deck, piecing it together. The deck chairs moved, grill scuffed. Even my coffee mug in a spot, I'd never leave it. Down below, Sharon's guests are stuck behind the gate, the group falling apart. Dr. Emily takes charge, rationing snacks, calming nerves, asking questions. Michael Thomas, the lawyer in the group, starts documenting everything, building a case. Marcus and Linda, the other two, alternate between blaming Sharon and staring off into space. And Sharon? She's unraveling. Her blazer wrinkled, makeup running, excuses stacking up like bad debt. So I amp up the pressure, broadcasting announcements every hour, half warning, half psychological warfare, reminding them it's cold up here, that hypothermia doesn't care about business plans, and all of it is being recorded for the sheriff. The cracks in Sharon's story become canyons. Michael's legal training turns up that her business license is only 3 months old. Testimonials are stolen stock photos. Her retreat is a scam. He calls it advanced fee fraud, identity theft, trespassing, embezzlement. Sharon's face goes sheet white. Desperate, Sharon tries to turn everyone against me. He's unstable, probably a veteran with PTSD. People like that are dangerous. But Dr. Emily doesn't even blink. No, Sharon, his response is proportionate. Your behavior is narcissistic. It's brutal, but the truth hurts, and it stings most when it's delivered calm and clear in mountain air. When I sweep the cabin, it's worse than I feared. My guest room is now an office, multiple laptops, printers, files on dozens of local property owners. Sharon wasn't freelancing. She was running an operation. Detailed notes on everyone's habits, vulnerabilities, finances. She'd profiled me for 6 months. My work, my routines, my friends. The GPS tracker was just her final chess piece. Tommy comes by, confirms through his cousin at the sheriff's department that Sharon's been flagged in multiple states. Fraud, fake businesses, always rural properties, always a story, always disappearing before anyone puts it together. Now her retreat, guests are hostages to her meltdown. Dr. Emily and Michael form a little crisis unit, organizing statements, gathering evidence, convincing Marcus and Linda to cooperate. And Sharon? She's having what Tommy calls a narcissistic collapse, screaming about being the real victim, debts, pressures, vague responsibilities. No one's buying it, especially after Michael finds evidence she's been embezzling from our HOA's disaster relief fund. The local grapevine catches fire. Mrs. Henderson calls, says Sharon tried to pitch her on some investment scheme. Bill Brown at the lake cabin says she was snooping about his rental business. This wasn't about me. She'd been casing the whole mountain, building files, planning a bigger score. And the real twist, Sharon wasn't working alone. Her daughter Amy, just 22, steps forward, contacts the detective, and drops the bombshell. My mom has been using me to run fake online profiles, catfishing Jake, gathering personal info, setting him up for more serious fraud. And if he didn't leave, she was researching how to physically harm him, to make him go away. That one hits like a sucker punch. Fake accounts, fake women, all orchestrated to get inside my head, dig up details, push me out. Amy has proof, screenshots, instructions from Sharon, even a plan for how to take over my property legally through adverse possession, using forged docs and establishing fake residency. Law enforcement steps in hard. Sharon is arrested in my driveway, charges read out. Aggravated identity theft, mail fraud, embezzlement, conspiracy to commit financial fraud, and more. Her carefully constructed life shatters. Her own daughter, in open court, says she's changing her name, never wants to be associated with Sharon again. The community erupts in applause, and in that moment, Sharon loses everything. Her freedom, her reputation, her family. But if you think the story ends with a jail sentence, you don't know people like Sharon. Within 48 hours, she's out on bail, filing fake lawsuits, launching a smear campaign on social media, trying to drown me in paperwork and rumors. She posts my license plate, my business info, calls the inspector on me, harasses my neighbors, and files building code complaints. Every move a calculated attempt to ruin my life and force me to sell, to abandon my cabin so she can finish her scam. I almost give in, almost. But here's the thing. The more she pushes, the more the community pushes back. Neighbors who barely spoke before now organize, defend me, call out Sharon's lies. Clients rally around my business. Even the old-timers, suspicious of outsiders, say, "Jake, you did right. Don't let her win." And then comes the final twist. Sharon's own daughter Amy brings the missing pieces to the police. Turns out, Sharon's plan wasn't just to use my property as a fake retreat or for mail fraud. She was going to forge ownership docs, take out massive loans against the cabin, then disappear, leaving me ruined and the banks chasing ghosts. The harassment, the lawsuits, the fake dating, every bit of it designed to isolate me, break me down, make it easier to steal my life while I was too exhausted to fight back. Amy's evidence, including texts about permanent solutions if I didn't cooperate, is enough to add attempted murder charges to Sharon's already staggering list. The courtroom on sentencing day is packed. Victims from 3 states, neighbors, retirees, people Sharon targeted, all there to see justice. Judge Hayes is relentless, calls out Sharon's cruelty, her calculated abuse of the vulnerable, the trauma she caused. 12 years in prison, 10 years of supervised probation, full restitution, business ban, asset forfeiture, the works. Sharon collapses, sobbing, as Amy stands and declares she's free of her mother's shadow for good. You'd think that's the end, but you'd be wrong. 2 years later, the prison warden calls. Sharon's teaching other inmates how to run property scams, even running criminal classes from her cell. The FBI opens a new investigation, uncovers a multi-state network, millions in stolen property, all tracing back to her techniques. But this time, it's different. The victims, including me, have built something in the wreckage, a nonprofit to protect rural homeowners, a tighter, more vigilant community, better security, better laws. Even Amy, now a victim advocate, helps others recover from scams like her mother's. Sometimes you beat the monster and walk away stronger. My cabin, once ground zero for Sharon's con, is now a hub for training, a place where people come to learn how to protect what's theirs. My business? Busier than ever. The people she tried to destroy have become friends. My peace of mind, finally back, along with something I didn't expect, a sense of purpose, a community worth fighting for. And Sharon? She'll be in prison for a long, long time. But the real punishment is knowing that the community she tried to rip off came together, rebuilt stronger, and turned her own playbook against her. That's how it ends for now. Or maybe it's just the next chapter, because evil doesn't retire, it just looks for a new scam. But now, up here in these mountains, we know how to fight back. So what do you think? Was justice served, or did Sharon get off too easy? Would you have handled it differently? Drop your thoughts below. Let's hear your take on where justice ends and community begins. And if you've ever stared down your own Sharon, well, I'm all ears.